Welcome back to Blacken Beet Bike Update, the place where we take deep dives into the machines that stir our passion and keep the two-wheel world alive. Today we're going to explore a motorcycle that lives more in the imagination of riders and fans than in official spec sheets, a bike that many wish Suzuki would bring back, the 2026 Suzuki GS 400. While the name hasn't officially returned to Suzuki's lineup, the GS 400 remains one of those classics that riders still dream of, so this review is about how it would feel, how it would look, and what you could expect if Suzuki really decided to bring this iconic machine back in a modern form. When you first see this machine, the styling immediately speaks to the heritage. At the front, the bike greets you with that timeless round headlamp design, something unmistakably retro but updated with full LED technology for brightness and efficiency. The minimalist front fascia avoids the aggressive angles of sport bikes and instead leans on a cleaner, purist look. The front forks stand tall and proud, giving a stance that feels planted yet not intimidating. The front wheel, wrapped in a modern tire, would complete the old meets new look that fans of the GS family crave. Moving to the side profile, this is where the GS 400 soul shines through. The fuel tank wears classic curves, not overly sculpted, and painted in deep blue or vibrant red, depending on the trim. A bold Suzuki decal would stretch across the tank, reminiscent of the late 70s machines, and the seat flows flat and wide, giving both rider and pillion comfort without the stepped sport bike feel. The side panel carries a small GS 400 badge, almost like a whisper to those who remember its history. The overall stance is upright, neutral, and inviting. It's a bike that looks ready for city commutes, weekend joyrides, or just being admired when parked outside a cafe. Copyright. From the back, the retro feel continues. A rounded taillight framed by simple indicators sits just below the slim rear seat. There's no exaggerated tail section or unnecessary plastic clutter, just clean lines that respect the roots of the GS series. The twin shock absorbers peek out from either side, reminding you that simplicity still has its charm. The rear fender holds a neatly integrated plate mount, keeping the silhouette honest to its heritage while complying with modern design rules. Underneath all this style, what makes the GS 400 special is its engine. In its original form, it carried a 398cc parallel twin, air-cooled, with a modest but lively output. If Suzuki were to revive it for 2026, we could expect a modern fuel-injected, liquid-cooled 400cc twin, tuned for smoothness and reliability. The focus wouldn't be on higher revving performance like a supersport but rather on torque delivery, making it fun to ride through city streets and relaxed on open roads. A 6-speed gearbox would replace the old 5-speed, ensuring better efficiency and more refined cruising. Riders today expect assist and slipper clutches, ride-by-wire, and maybe even selectable riding modes, so the modern GS 400 would likely incorporate those without spoiling its analog charm. Performance-wise, a revived GS 400 would probably deliver around 45 to 50 horsepower, enough to keep it engaging for new riders while still satisfying seasoned bikers who enjoy a balanced middleweight. The twin-cylinder would sing with a throaty exhaust note, not overly loud, but rich enough to remind you that you're on something with character. Handling would lean toward stability rather than razor-sharp aggression, with a comfortable suspension setup that makes it easy to ride for hours. Braking would be handled by modern discs with ABS, making sure safety is up to today's expectations. Weight would be kept moderate, around 180 to 190 kilograms wet, giving the bike a solid yet maneuverable feel. When it comes to pricing, Suzuki would likely aim to place the GS 400 in a sweet spot. A bike like this, blending retro style and modern tech, would probably arrive in the market between $8,000 and $9,000, sitting below the high-end neo-retro models but above entry-level commuters. That would make it accessible to a wide range of riders, from those buying their first serious motorcycle to veterans looking for a stylish secondary ride that doesn't break the bank. In markets where smaller displacement bikes are more popular, the GS 400 would fit perfectly as a practical yet emotionally appealing choice. As we close this review, what really matters is how a bike like the GS 400 makes you feel. It's not just about numbers on a spec sheet or how fast it can go from 0 to 60, it's about the story it tells every time you swing a leg over, the history it carries in its name, and the way it blends simplicity with function. Suzuki has built its reputation on reliable, rider-friendly machines, and a modern GS 400 would be a perfect continuation of that tradition. It would attract both young riders looking for authenticity and older riders longing to reconnect with their early biking days. Even though Suzuki hasn't officially put this machine into production for 2026, imagining it allows us to appreciate how timeless good design and thoughtful engineering really are. That's been our